Welcome to the chip market, where we help you invest smarter in the world of chips. Today, we're jumping right into the quantum computing sector, which, let's be honest, is a massive crossroads. We've got billions in fresh funding and some really critical government contracts stirring the pot, setting up a high-stakes race between the top public companies. So in this breakdown, we're going to look at the big three: Rigetti, D-Wave, and IonQ. Each one is betting the farm on a completely different technology, and honestly, the next 2 to 3 years are probably going to be decisive. So let's figure out who really has the edge.
All right, first up, the arena, mapping the technology battlefield. To really get a handle on this race, you have to understand the core tech, because each company is making a fundamentally different bet on how to build a quantum computer. So what you're seeing here is really the core trade-off in the quantum world. On one side, you have Rigetti. Their superconducting qubits are all about raw speed, but the trade-off is higher error rates. Then there's D-Wave. They have the most qubits by far, but their machine is a specialist. It's built for optimization problems, not as a universal computer. And then, on the other end of the spectrum, you have IonQ. Their trapped ion tech offers unbelievable precision, or fidelity, but it's a whole lot slower. And believe me, these aren't just minor technical specs. These are the huge strategic bets that will define the winners and losers. Okay, so that brings us to a really interesting catalyst for Rigetti, this new contract with the Air Force Research Lab, or AFRL. And why does it matter? Because it's aimed squarely at solving the single biggest problem for their technology. How do you actually scale it up? The answer lies in this idea of superconducting-to-optical networking. You see, Rigetti's processors run inside super-cooled refrigerators and use microwave signals. The problem? Microwaves don't travel very far. So to connect multiple machines, they need a special piece of hardware called a transducer. Just think of it like a quantum modem. It's a little device that takes that quantum state and converts it into a light signal that can zip across standard fiber optic cables. It's absolutely essential for their entire scaling strategy.
And here's a look at how it's supposed to work. Step 1, you have your quantum state as a microwave signal inside one machine. Step 2, the transducer does its magic, converting it into an optical signal. And step 3, that signal travels through a fiber network to link up with another quantum processor. If they pull this off, it means Rigetti could build one massive, powerful computer by just networking a bunch of smaller, high-speed modules together. It's a really slick, modular way to tackle scaling. And this really puts the whole competitive picture into sharp focus. Both Rigetti and IonQ are betting that networking is the way to scale, but they're coming at it from completely opposite directions. Rigetti is trying to link up its super-fast chiplets, while IonQ is focused on linking its super-precise modules. It's this incredible strategic split that, as an investor, you absolutely have to keep an eye on.
All right, so we've got the tech, but as we all know, technology alone doesn't win races like this. It takes a ton of capital, so let's take a look at the money, the war chests, and strategic contracts.
Now, after a bunch of capital raises, all three of these companies are actually in a much better financial spot. If we look at the projected cash on hand for mid-2025, IonQ has a huge advantage, a whopping $1.6 billion. But, Rigetti and D-Wave aren't exactly hurting either. They've both locked down enough cash to really fund their roadmaps for the foreseeable future. But here's the number that really matters to me: cash runway. Right now, all three companies have a runway of at least 3 years at their current spending rates. Now, for investors, this is a huge deal. It's a major de-risking event. It means the conversation can finally shift from short-term survival to long-term execution. These teams can now focus on building, without having to constantly worry about raising more money and diluting shareholders.
So, beyond the money they raise from investors, we have these strategic contracts. And this is a really important question you've got to ask. Are these just short-term news pops that boost the stock for a day or two, or are they actually building a stronger long-term story? The answer seems pretty clear. They are absolutely fundamental. I mean, sure, the cash they bring in is non-dilutive, which is great, but the real value here is the third-party validation. When a customer like the Department of Defense writes a check, it's a massive signal of confidence. It says they believe in the technology and in the company's ability to deliver on its promises.
Okay, so we've covered the tech and the money. Now let's bring it all together and look at the finish line, the investment outlook, and the key milestones you need to be tracking. So where does this all leave us as investors? Well, it's really a tale of two very different potential futures. The bull case is all about a breakthrough. Imagine Rigetti actually demonstrates that optical link, or IonQ creates its first logical qubit. An event like that could send a stock soaring. But the bear case is a story of delays, missed milestones, technical problems, all while that cash burn continues. It all comes down to execution. So if you're watching these stocks, here are the exact things you need to have on your radar for the next couple of years. For Rigetti, it's their 100-plus qubit system and, of course, that AFRL optical link demo. For IonQ, you're watching for a higher algorithmic qubit count and their first error-corrected qubit. And for D-Wave, it's about launching their full Advantage 2 system and landing new system sales. These are the make-or-break catalysts. And that brings us right back to the central question. The race isn't just about building any quantum computer. It's about building a useful one that gives a real advantage. So for investors, it boils down to this. Is it going to be Rigetti's speed, IonQ's precision, or D-Wave's application readiness that wins out? Honestly, the answer to that is one of the most compelling stories unfolding in tech right now. Keeping a close eye on those technical milestones is really going to be the key to navigating this incredibly volatile but also potentially revolutionary sector. Hey, if you got some value out of this breakdown, do me a favor and subscribe to the Chip Market and share this with any other investors you think would find it useful. We're going to keep tracking this quantum race and bring you the insights you need to invest smarter. Thanks for watching.